Hey everyone, this is Neil with Wasted Paper here, bringing you another fountain pen review. This time we're looking at a pen from Stipula. This is actually the first pen I've ever looked at from this brand. It came out really recently, and it intrigued me. I saw it, I didn't know what the mechanism they were using was. I really didn't know much of anything about this brand, but I got this in just recently from Atlas, and we're going to go straight into it. Starting off with the box, you have a pretty simple sleeve on the top of here. It's just some red, like, it almost feels like craft or cardboard, what have you. On the side here, it tells you what I got, which is a Stipula. I got the gold leaf colorway. I got the V Flex fountain pen nib. And then right here is the actual name of it. I don't want to butcher this, but it's what this says right here. Underneath the sleeve, you have this red box that has gold foiling, and it has the look or print of Saffiano leather. This is not that. This is just a piece that's kind of pasted on top of the box, but it still looks really nice. Inside the box, you have your pen, and then you have an eyedropper and an instruction manual. All right, we'll get into this eyedropper in just a minute, but let's start out looking at the pen. I thought this was really eye-catching, especially in the video they use, this like gold leaf kind of aesthetic. I really don't want to butcher this, but the name of this model is the Stipula Novecento fountain pen, and then I got it in this gold leaf colorway. This is apparently special material they use to turn this. I really cannot say this one correctly, but maybe Mealy Saventicio resin? I hope that's somewhat correct.
I don't think it is.
I've never seen that on any pen, so this is my first time checking it out. It's a pretty clear resin. The gold leaf is pretty prominent, and what's nice about it is you can kind of see it on the top layer and a little bit underneath, like a piece right around here. So you get to see it has some nice dimension to it. Going straight into this though, your top finial is rounded. Again, that clear piece to see the gold foiling. You have a pretty unique looking clip here. I haven't really seen any clip like this. It almost looks like Link's sword in like the original Zelda games. Getting underneath it's a little difficult. Once you're under there, super flexible and it's easy, but just trying to get under this piece because it's got a pretty drastic taper and is super close to the body. So it makes it a little difficult, but once you get under there, it is flexible. Obviously, you can see straight into this pen, so you can see the threads are here. That's where your cap ends. Underneath that, you have the model name printed on this. Again, it's that Novecento. But what's unique about this band is it's actually got cutouts for the letters and it's straight cut through to the body. So you can see the gold foiling, I'm going to call it acrylic, underneath there. If you had this in a different colorway, something that was pretty crazy, these would actually look really cool. And at the bottom of here, you have this knob, which we'll get into once I take the cap off and show you what this does. The pen uncaps in just a little bit over one full rotation. On the inside of here, it does look like there's a step down and I guess a liner as well. You can really see it right there. See how it gets more foggy? That's from your plastic liner on the inside of there. The grip section's great. I don't think you would have any issues here with this at all. That hole is on the inside. Don't worry, it's not on the outside. You don't feel anything there. But the grip's great. The step down right here with the threads, again, a really easy transition. It catches you a little bit, but they're rounded, so there's not sharp or anything like that. And then onto the nib, I do like the filigree on this. You have these like leaf patterns on each side going up, and this nib is called the V Flex. Because it's called that, you have this really long split down the center that goes all the way to the end. I don't definitively know everything about this nib, but what I read is because of the V shape, they call it that. So I'm guessing if these tines were separated, you'd have a V there. I'm probably wrong, and people can correct me in the comments down below. Again, this is my first time checking them out. And then it is paired with an ebonite feed, and it's a very unique one. Look how lifted this ebonite feed is. And then these, I don't want to call them tines again, but the spaces here, there's a lot less of them than I'm used to seeing on feeds in general. From what I read, Stipula uses ebonite feeds and heat sets these in, as well as hand tests every single nib. So that's some pretty high QC, and I really like that. So I'm hoping this writes really well, but it's a unique look for sure. And before we go into this part, for those curious, the pen does post, and it posts very securely. It's a bit long for my taste. I don't know if I'm known as the posting guy yet because of the pen model I made, but I'm pretty particular with posting pens, and I think this is a bit long. The weight of this is really nice because it's this clear, lightweight material, and you really don't have metal on the top here besides the clip. But it's, I don't know, I just don't think I'd post this. It's pretty long, probably a little too long to be doing that. And now I'm going to show you why this pen is special and why I bought it in the first place. I saw them spin this knob right here, and look what happens. Your whole nib unit and feed sucks into the pen. That is so unique. I really don't own any pens that do that. And I know they're known for having another pen that does this. I don't know the name of it, but it's a metal one that does this and it kind of has a cover here, whereas this one doesn't have a cover, which is again why it comes with your eyedropper tool. So you would retract this all the way into the body. I don't know if it has to be like necessarily all the way at the back. You might be able to do it halfway. For safety reasons, I'm just gonna go all the way back and recommend that you do that too if you pick this up. And then you would eyedropper your ink to the inside of here. We're gonna check this out now. For my ink choice, I went with a new ink I just picked up from the San Francisco Pen Show. This is from Hachimanjia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is from their fruits pack. This is called Cherry. They had a sample there on like a swatch card and it looked really good, and reds are kind of hard to find that I like, at least I should say. There's a lot of reds out there, but it just seems like a pretty divisive ink. It's really hard to get the shade you're looking for in it. All that being said though, I got this out and man, it looked good in the sample. I'm excited to use it here. For my writing sample, I'm going to be going with my notebook from the Paper Mine. This is Tran-X B7 paper, or I think they call it B7 Tran-X. Really, really good paper. It's like my favorite paper right now, and I've just continued to use it. Really like it. And then this leather cover here, I talked about it in a different video. It is from Long Road Leather. He has an Etsy store. I found him online. He actually made this for me. This is amazing material, and everyone that has seen this really liked it in person, and you can see it's already showing, wear to it. It looks really, really good. I would say check out both of these if you're in the store for some good paper. All right, so straight into the writing sample. It's very unique. Let me start off by saying that. It's a little rough. I don't really have any nibs or pens that really write like this. There's a bit of texture, but not in the same way that like Sailor has texture. It's just a bit more rough than I would have thought. It's not bad, and you can write really light and kind of not feel it at all, but it's a bit rough writing with more intent and intention in general. As far as the overall writing went, though, I mean, really no issues. I can see so far that the ink was really good and performed kind of everywhere. I will point out it did write under its own weight, which is really nice. But this right here, my fast writing, it's a little hard to spot. There's some dry spots in there, though. It wasn't giving me the most consistent line. It looks fine there, but occasionally when I was going fast, I could feel just a little bit of a bit of dry spot or where ink didn't come out. For the flex, the variation's not half bad, to be honest with you, for a steel nib. Here's your smallest line, which I would compare this probably a fine. I don't think I'd say this is an extra fine. Up to this, which I would say that's like a broad, maybe even a little bit bigger. I don't want to push it too much, so I'm just going to probably say fine to a broad. That's pretty good, honestly, for steel. I feel like there's a lot of pressure. Don't get me wrong, you have to apply a lot of pressure to get this bigger, line difference. But if you just averagely apply pressure, you're still going to get some nice subtle variation. It's pretty good. I have to admit, it's not half bad. I did look it up also. So this nib is the V-Flex. Like I said earlier, it's steel. They also offer a T-Flex, which is titanium. And then they additionally have in their high-end kind of nibs, it's called the Stipula, the 14K, and it's a gold version of this. So I'm sure as you go up, it's going to get softer and be more of a better riding experience. This wasn't bad, but I would say that if you want the real flex, it seems like you probably really should be looking at their steel or gold nibs. I also want to call out this ink right here. It's kind of cool to see. So you can see the feed right there in the ink reservoir. And when I lean it forward, it'll go down and you can see the back end. It's pretty cool. Filling this wasn't hard at all. I only did 2 of the eyedropper fills. I don't know how many you can do. I didn't want to push it too far, but I mean from 2, you can kind of see it's a little hard at this angle, but it looks to be around halfway full. So you can probably get away with 4. It might be pushing it. So 3 is probably your safe bet if you just want to have a good ink load in here. One thing I'm curious about, and I really don't want to test this, but if I put this down, yeah, I was kind of curious. So you can barely see this ink hole right here that's by the feed. It burps just a little bit when I retract it. See, you definitely saw it there. Yeah, you can totally tell, thank goodness. So that's going to be that air pressure once this seal is broken and replaced. It's going to cause that. So it's something to be wary of. I really don't want to test it, but I'm sure if I had this upside down and I opened it, I mean, all of this is just going to come down. You can make a real big mess with this pen, but I will say this handle, I can tell like there's somewhat of a mechanism in here that prevents it from just casually turning. I have to do it really with intent. It's not hard at all. It's like your normal piston kind of resistance. But if I just apply absolutely no pressure, it's really not moving. Like my hands can move. But this just is not going to go. The seal up here is really holding it tight. And then whatever this mechanism on the inside is pretty good. I don't think you'd have any issue about this accidentally spinning or turning. It really feels like once you have that seal on that valve at the end with the O-ring, there's no issue. For my size comparison, I have a Lamy Safari, and something a little different this time is I actually have a model I designed. I've talked about this in the past, and if you are a supporter of my channel, you already know I made a model. This is a new colorway coming out called Black Opal. This releases on Friday. Hopefully this video comes out a decent amount in advance, but I'm going to use that for my other pen here because if you support my channel, I hope you got to check out my model and hope you like it. As for the overall length capped, I really have no issues with this pen. It's near identical to mine, maybe just the slightest bit longer, and then just barely longer than the Lamy Safari. As for it uncapped, again, you're really identical to the rest of these pens. I'm not noticing much variation in the length. I would say mine might actually just be the tiniest bit bigger, but not by much. And then when it comes to posting, I was hoping my pen would win here, a little shameless plug, and it does. But the Stipula is by far the longest one here. It posts just fine and it's secure, but I just don't think it's necessary. You really don't need to do it. And now onto the price. The retail price for the Stipula Novecento fountain pen in gold leaf is $395 USD, and then you can get it on Atlas Stationers where I got mine for $316, and my affiliate discount code does work to save you an additional 10%. The nib options on this pen are fine, medium, stub 1.1, and then V-Flex. It's a little interesting this doesn't come in broad, but I mean, I don't, first time trying Stipula, maybe that's normal. Something I forgot to mention is the trim on this pen. This actually has 24 karat gold trim, which is a nice little extra detail they didn't have to include. And then they call their ink system the muzzle loading system. So apparently that came out in the 19th century. Again, first time using it or even seeing it in a modern pen. So it's pretty cool. I'm not unhappy with it at all. It feels like the seal is really well secured. It doesn't feel like this is going to get loose at all. Something kind of interesting that's almost a little hard to see and I didn't realize till now is you really have a fully exposed nib and feed here. Like normally on your housing, these are screwed into something, but it's really not, or I guess I should say it can be friction fit into something, but it's not here. You can see the end of the nib and you can see the feed going pretty much straight down. It's a little hard now that there's like red ink and stuff in here. But yeah, it's just, I've not really ever seen that. That's super interesting to me. As far as critiques of the pen, I don't really have too many. The price is a bit high. Anything over 300, I'm always going to be kind of skeptical, but I wanted to check out a system that's at least new to me. The writing of it is, again, a bit rough, something to be mindful of. It might be something that they naturally do, though. So if you like Stipula, I don't know that you'd be let down. This may just be the writing experience. Just like when you use a Sailor, they have more of a unique kind of feel across their entire brand as well. The clip I'm not totally in love with. I like that it looks like an old school, Nintendo sword, but getting under it's kind of a pain. Once you're under there, super flexible, but getting under it's kind of a pain. I have to shout them out for this though. The gold leaf in here is really nice. A lot of brands and big brands, I don't know if other people already know this and I'm just repeating myself, but other big brands really don't want to mess with a resin that has stuff in it. The main reason being is that stuff can get caught in their machines, or you need to clean the little bits and gunk out of there from using it. So seeing a big named brand use material that actually has stuff in it, I have to give them credit and shout them out for that. It's really only ever like bespoke by hand makers I've ever seen use it. So I give them credit, and I look forward to maybe the other colorways coming out of this pen, and I might actually check out more stuff from Stipula in general. They have a nice looking aesthetic and package, and this is a cool little, new model for me. So yeah. All that being said, if you enjoyed my content, please like the video. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. So I'm sure, of course, as you go up, it's going to get softer. It's going to be a Novecento. Novecento.
Let's say it all together.
Novecento.